This week on Cptv, Tri Kappa sponsors CPHS Art Department's annual art show, CP residents converge on Lake County Fairgrounds for the excellent run and walk, and the boys lacrosse team takes on Lane Tech at home. Hi, I'm Jack Gardner.
And I'm Ashley Reed.
Welcome to CPTV. Samantha Winters will be here with your 5-day weather forecast, and Reese Groppentine will bring us CP Sports highlights.
Here's what's happening at Crown Point High School.
Last week, Tri Kappa of Munster sponsored their annual art show and awards ceremony for CP art students. Tri Kappa has long benefited the art department students and teachers through scholarships and recognition of their varied works.
Tonight was a very eventful night. We had the Tri Kappa Art Show. Tri Kappa donates around $7,000 worth of prize money. We had a scholarship winner. We had Best of Show, who was Reagan Beckham. We had 5 patron awards, 5 honorable mention, and 10 merit awards. We had a really good turnout this year. I think it was probably our biggest turnout that we've had.
Okay, I basically won Best in Show. They only picked 2 people out of everyone, so I don't know, I just feel really honored, I guess, right now. I wasn't really expecting it, so it was a nice surprise.
This is my drawing. It's with charcoal. It's called Well Rounded, and I'm very proud of it, and I feel like I did a really good job, and I won first place for the Tri Kappa Art Show. I had also did another painting. It was in watercolor, and it's called Faded Dreams, and I'm really excited about it all. And I plan to go to college for minoring in art, hopefully, and I got accepted to IUN recently, so I'm excited to start with that and see where it goes.
The Biomed Students Club is working in conjunction with the American Heart Association and hosting their inaugural CPHS Heart Walk on April 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the track and football field. Funds raised will not only go to the American Heart Association, but will also benefit the Biomed and Code Red clubs by allowing them to introduce new educational experiences and opportunities.
We are going to be partnering with the American Heart Association. This event will be April 28th this year. That's a Friday night from 5 to 8 p.m. here at Crown Point High School out on the football field. This event is the first of its kind. We are kind of the charter school that working with the American Heart Association. This event is big. Its goal is fundraising, education, awareness. We're raising money with our biomedical students. They are team captains, recruiting team members to help fundraise. So there will be activity stations, CPR training stations, educational booths. We will have food samples. We'll have our concession stand open. We will have Culver's there. Jamba Juice is going to be there. All kinds of neat stuff.
I am participating in the Heart Walk for Reagan, and she has a congenital heart defect. So she was the first person who popped in my head when they said something about the Heart Walk. Reagan has a non-functioning mitral valve, and so she has been in for multiple open heart surgeries. And this month, actually, she is going in for her 4th open heart surgery. Reagan won't be able to walk because of her open heart coming up, but she's still a huge inspiration, and I'm so thankful for everyone who has donated. We have raised $1,000. We have more money to put in, but I'm just so happy with the outcome that we have all had.
Additionally, the PLTW class will be hosting a Dine and Donate night at Buffalo Wild Wings tonight from 5 to 9 p.m. All proceeds raised will go toward the Heart Walk.
Student Council will be hosting their annual dance marathon on Friday, May 12th from 5 to 11 p.m. in the cafeteria. Proceeds will go to support Ann and Robert H. Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago. You can sign up to dance or simply donate. In addition to their dance marathon, Student Council will also be hosting a dodgeball tournament on Thursday, April 20th at 6 p.m. in the Fieldhouse. There's a $20 entry fee and a 6 to 8 player limit team. Each team will be required to register with their own unique theme. All proceeds will go towards the dance marathon. Registration for both events is during all lunch periods and in Mrs. Fano's room C114.
For those of you who don't know, Dance Marathon is an event that Student Council is sponsoring currently, and there's registrations during all lunches. All of the money that we raise goes to Lurie Children's Hospital, and this year our goal is to raise $10,000. So at the event, there's going to be dancing, dodgeball, photo booth, and a ton of food, and just a few more other games. So I definitely recommend coming out, sign up during your lunches, and if you see these buckets in the hallway, donate in them. And another way that we're fundraising for the event is a dodgeball tournament that we're hosting on April 20th from 6 to 8 o'clock. And so you can sign up and register for that in room C114, and it's $20 a team, 6 to 8 members per team. So definitely come out. It's for a great cause, and I hope to see you there.
One of the most politically polarizing topics of discussion this past year has been in regard to the Trump administration's plan to build a wall on the Mexican-American border. Here's CPTV's Haley Bramwell on how the possibility of a wall will affect the nation in our foreign relations with Mexico while getting students' opinions on the matter.
America is a very diverse country, and by diverse I mean we're built on immigration. Immigration is the action of coming to live permanently in a foreign country. For example, when our founding fathers left Britain to find a better life and live permanently in the USA, President Trump wants to build a wall between the United States and Mexico to prevent illegal immigrants from coming into the United States. The president says his wall will cover 1,000 miles and natural obstacles will take care of the rest. Mr. Trump claims the total cost of the wall will be $10 to $12 billion. But estimates from fact checkers and engineers seem to be universally higher. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell estimated it will cost between $12 and $15 billion as he addressed reporters at a Republican conference in Philadelphia. President Trump insisted that Mexico will pay. Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto has been equally insistent that he will not. The wall is being built on the goal to prevent people from entering the country who are potential illegal citizens. The number of undocumented immigrants in the U.S. has dropped to 11 million compared to in 2010 when it was at 11.5 million. Approximately 5.8 million of those unauthorized immigrants were Mexican. The rest were a mixture of both Indian and Chinese immigrants. Last year, 1.4 million Mexicans were waiting for a legal work or immigration visa. Only 26,000 were made available. Boyd Campbell, a veteran immigration lawyer in Montgomery, said that the economy here, from my point of view, is that we complain about all the people here illegally, but we don't provide enough visas to enable them to come here legally. I asked a group of CPHS students their opinion on whether the president's wall will prevent illegal immigrants from entering our country and if they have any ideas on prohibiting undocumented immigrants from coming in.
Personally, I don't think Trump's wall will work because, we have so many other deficits or whatever that we have to pay, national debt. We have to help with our education and our health care.
No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Because, no matter how high he builds the wall, it's they're going to find a way to climb over it anyway. So it's pointless and it's a waste of money. And how long is that going to take? When is he talking about building this anyway? It's just not going to work. That's all I got to say. It's not going to work.
I think it's stupid, and I think there should not be a wall, and everyone should just be equal and allowed to go wherever they want.
I think Trump's wall, if he can build one successfully, will work, especially with the technology we have today. It's just finding a way to fund the wall because it's obvious Mexico is not paying for it. He's already, petitioned Congress to pay for the wall.
I don't think the wall is going to prohibit illegal immigration just because, people could always come through the water. They can damage the wall, resulting in more financial loss for us. But I do, however, think that if we make the process more simple to go through, keep the security precautions, but make it easier to go through and more affordable, that would work.
I don't really think it's going to work. I get, the whole immigration thing and, the illegal immigrants. But, I think it's just, the way he, puts it, it's kind of racist, how he's saying that he's trying to only keep out the immigrants. But I think he just doesn't like Mexicans, honestly.
Regardless of if you believe the wall should be built or not, we all have our own opinions. But remember that fact will always prevail opinion. Republican or Democrat, we need to cooperate on a plan that will avail our undocumented immigrant obstacle. This has been Political Happening. For Cptv, I'm Haley Bramwell.
Next Wednesday, all juniors will be taking the ACT during morning periods. Students will be required to report directly to their resource class at the beginning of the day. Alternatively, that same day, seniors will be given the opportunity to participate in Portrait of a Graduate Day. Seniors are required to participate in 6 hours of community service, visit a college, or shadow a job. Recently, A group of CPHS students who are passionate about basketball and inspired by the hype surrounding March Madness have taken to creating their own basketball tournament on the playground of Eisenhower Elementary. Cptv's Nick Morgan and Drew Zimmerman were able to attend the so-called Eisenhower Madness and check out the behind the scenes of this student-inspired tournament.
All right, what you're seeing right now is Eisenhower Madness. As you can see, a lot of games going on. We got 2 courts here at Eisenhower, and it's a 3-on-3 tournament. We started it last year, and I just had an idea. I was like, you know, we should bring a bunch of guys that can come out and compete, have a good atmosphere, and come out here and play.
That's the matchup!
In all honesty, if I walk through the halls and I see that someone looks like they're just an average player, I will ask them to play. Basically, if you play a varsity sport, you're not in, because then you're too athletic, so.
It's just a great experience, you know, like if you don't have many friends, you can just come out here, even if you're not good, you can come out here and play ball. We don't discriminate.
At Eisenhower, we look for talent, but we don't look for the cream of the crop. Like, we don't want kids like Sasha and Ken and Dom and Andy. Those guys are up there. But we want guys that can play basketball, but we don't want the boys here, as you could say, from the high school basketball team.
Maybe like an 83 overall catch and shoot player, you know, a little ball handling in there. No defense whatsoever. It's not a part of my game.
Well, I think people show up to Eisenhower Madness is because a lot of times, you know, the rest of us get excluded from all the basketball events because we're not, you know, the best players at the school. So we wanted to start something that that could bring us involved and have the people that, you know, aren't the best but still can play, have a place to play and have a good time.
Throughout our lives, many of us have been fortunate to have an elder in our lives to help us on our path of life. Whether it be a grandparent or a family friend with our helpful advice or words of encouragement, elders in our lives are often there to help guide us. But do we often take these people for granted? Reese Groppentine recently took the opportunity to interview her grandmother and local Crown Point resident Joan Getz to see if she just might be missing something.
I'm Joan Getz. I'm 82 years old and I was born in 1934. I went through the time that people were just coming out of the Depression, and that was a hard time for them. If people think that there's few jobs now, at that time there was none hardly. The most valuable lesson I learned from that was not putting importance on material things. In the 40s, we had the war going on. I can remember the day that they told us that the Japanese had bombed Pearl Harbor. The moment I met my husband, I had practiced basketball with the girls' team in the gymnasium, and he was starting to practice with the boys' basketball team. And I, of course, being a girl, needed my comb afterwards. Well, I looked around and I didn't have my warm-up jacket. And I looked, and here he had it on. You just realize that things don't happen by coincidence, that it was meant to happen, because we were married 64 years. I think the most valuable things that I've learned has been the importance of family. They're the most comforting and the most valuable thing to me. The most valuable lessons that I've learned has probably been to appreciate life and family. I keep stressing the family, but they mean so much to me. As you get up older, you realize how short life is and how many things mean so much to you that you never realized when you were younger because you had children and jobs and things like that. This generation should talk more to their elders because we've seen a lot, been through a lot, and be able to tell you how the things were and that you could appreciate that. The advice I could give this generation is to be more kind and more thoughtful to people and to enjoy every day as if it was your last.
Spring weather engulfed the region last weekend with temps in the 70s. Here's CPTV's Samantha Winters with your 5-day weather forecast.
Last weekend, it truly began to feel a lot like spring with temps in the 60s and 70s. And it looks like this weekend we could get close to hitting 80 degrees. Before we look at your Easter weekend forecast, let's take a look at what you can expect for the rest of the day. At noon, we'll be right around 57 degrees with sunny skies. A few clouds will make their way in, but we'll see the day high of 60 right around 3 o'clock. And temps will hover there for the remainder of the day. Taking a look at the long-range forecast, tomorrow's temps will be right around 70 with a chance of rain. For Good Friday, rain will continue again with temps near 70 degrees. Looking at the weekend, Saturday skies will clear and temps will likely make their way to 80 degrees. For Easter Sunday, storms will move into the region again with temps in the upper 60s. Coming back to school on Monday, expect mostly clear skies with a high of 57. And that's your 5-day forecast. Have a happy Easter.
Remember, sign-ups for summer school courses as well as summer gym are open until Friday, May 12th. Be sure to email your guidance counselors for additional information on registration. FCA, or Fellowship of Christian Athletes, is hosting meetings every other Friday morning before school in the LGI. The focus of the group is centered around motivational scripture and how to apply them to competition. It's also an opportunity for all students to share their trials or problems in life, and club moderator, baseball coach and math teacher Steve Strayer, hopes it is a welcoming place to help students persevere.
Last week, the boys lacrosse team kicked off their season with a victory against Lane Tech. Here's Reese Groppin team with your CP Sports highlights.
As we head further into April, the spring sports teams are now picking up their respective seasons. The softball team's first home game of the year was this past Friday at home against Munster. This was a non-conference game that took place and ultimately concluded with a win for the Lady Bulldogs. Senior Mackenzie Dunlap and sophomore Brooke Manhattan scored 2 runs and 1 run respectively to get the girls the W overall 3-2. The girls' next game will be a home game tonight at 4:30 against LaPorte High School. The boys' baseball team recently attended the Lafayette Invite this past Saturday in Lafayette, Indiana. From this tournament, the boys took 1 win and 2 losses. The 2 losses were against Lafayette Jefferson High School and McCutcheon High School, and the win was against Harrison High School, and the score was 9-2. The boys' first home game will be tonight against Chesterton High School, starting at 4:30 as well. The Crown Point boys lacrosse team took the trip out to Lane Tech High School in Chicago this past Saturday. Brandon Phipps was a big part of this game, contributing 2 goals and 5 assists to bring the victory to the team. The final score of that game was a resounding 16-4. The next game for the boys will be tonight at South Bend Joseph at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's it for this week in sports.
Keep in mind that this Friday there is no school. Classes will resume on Monday, April 17th. Enjoy the 3-day weekend. CP residents converged on the fairgrounds last week for the excellent 5 to 10K runner walk. Eggs were scattered all over the fairgrounds with monetary prizes hidden inside. One egg was planted to surprise a participant with $100.
What?
A lot of people do egg hunts, but I wanted to also involve some sort of exercise as well.
I thought about it last week or so, a week or two before. I thought about running it, and then today I had some time, so I told my wife, let's go to the race.
I do plan on running the race again with my friend Kinsey as a tradition.
I mainly just came to the race to have fun, honestly, mainly just because I like running.
And finally, as most of us know, last week CPHS lost a beloved teacher. Science teacher Kelly Loving passed away after fighting his battle against glioblastoma. In November 2014, CPTV alum Brooke Kieran produced and hosted a segment entitled Tea with Teachers. This episode featured Kelly Loving, and as we close the show this week, here's a brief excerpt of that segment.
So I know you can be quite the hit in the classroom. Are you like that at home? Crazy?
I try, I mean, I'm not a serious dad, I have 3 kids.
So not like, be home at this time, you're grounded.
Oh my goodness, my kids don't leave. But I'm playing guitar with Rocksmith. It's a video game with a guitar, so like Guitar Hero, but with an actual guitar. I suck a lot, as it turns out. I'm really bad at it. But I've only been doing it a week, so I figure stardom is right around the corner for me.
I mean, you're on Cptv.
I know, this is I want you to know right here, this is my big time. I'll never forget you little people. So,